Okay. Am I visible to you all? Can you see my screen? Okay. Hopefully you can see.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, my dear friends, today we all are assembled here for the Prerna Scheme GATE classes, and I am going to deliver the session on production engineering. The production engineering is the collective measure which includes the manufacturing process, machining process, and advanced production process as well. Let me introduce myself. I am Professor Ashwadeep Fullinai. I am an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering of Tulsiramji Gaikwad Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Mogaon, Wardha Road, Nagpur. So, in the beginning session, in the introductory part of the GATE scheme, Professor Ravindra Shende has introduced, he might have introduced about the scheme and the question patterns to be asked in the GATE examination. There are certain bifurcation and the certain groups through which the predefined questions will be asked, and it will be definitely depending upon the curriculum of your mechanical engineering. My dear friends, those who have entered in final year, those who have entered in third year, especially for those students, why? Because you have almost achieved the milestone of to be becoming a mechanical engineer. You are about to be a mechanical engineer, and that is how the organizing institute of GATE also defines the eligibility criteria that final year students must fill the form. Final year student and those who have passed the engineering examination. Now, as far as our production engineering is concerned, as I informed you that the production engineering, it includes the manufacturing process, machining process, and the advanced production process. Those whoever are in fifth semester, that is in third year, they are aware about the advanced production processes. You have completed learning the manufacturing process and machining process. Those who are in final year, they are already aware about the thorough production process, thorough advanced production processes, manufacturing and machining process. Now, I consider that Professor Ravindra Shende has covered the scheme. He has introduced the topics which are very important, relevant. But let me tell you about the scheme again, that 15 mark is classified under the mathematics, 15 marks under the aptitude, and remaining 70 mark will be dedicated to your mechanical engineering. Especially the more weightage is given to the manufacturing and the production technology. Today, as you can see through my screen, I am going to cover the theory of metal cutting. My dear friends, this topic you all have studied in your third semester. At that time also I have narrated, I dictated like this is amongst the most important question to be asked in the GATE examination. A definite and compulsory question will appear on the theory of metal cutting. So you must have the knowledge of theory of metal cutting. How does the metal is being removed from the surface of the workpiece? Not necessarily from the surface, throughout the surface, like we perform the action in drilling processes. Now, in our next consecutive slides, you are going to learn the importance and the different parameters of the theory of metal cutting. Okay, so let me proceed towards the next slide. Now, what is cutting? Many components produced by primary manufacturing process need machining to get their final shape, accurate size, and the good surface finish. The term machining is used to describe various processes which involve removal of metal from the workpiece. The definition of machining is like machining is an essential process of finishing by which jobs are produced to the desired dimensions and the surface finish by gradually removing the excess material from the performed blank of the form in the form of chips with the help of cutting tool moved past the work surface. My dear friends, till fifth semester, those who ever are in fifth semester or those who are in final year, you all have studied the different types of machining processes. My dear friends, you have learned the lathe machine, wherein single point cutting tool is more predominantly used to remove the material from the blank, that is from the workpiece. We all have studied the milling process, we have studied shaper, planer, slaughter, drilling machine, grinding machine. Now, machining, what does it mean? To remove the material from the blank, to remove the material from the surface of the workpiece in order to achieve the desired dimension, surface finish, and the dimensional accuracy with the removal of material. How does the material is removed? When the cutting tool comes in contact with the workpiece, when we exert the pressure, when we apply more and more forces either on the workpiece or on the tool, the material is removed. Another important parameter in manufacturing, in machining process is like either of the tool or workpiece will be in motion. It has to be in motion. Out of workpiece or cutting tool, one of them must possess certain motion, whether it may be rotary motion or oscillatory motion, but there has to be a motion. My dear friends, in shaper, slaughter, and planing machine, the oscillatory motion is provided either on the workpiece or onto the cutting tool, isn't it? While performing drilling operation exclusively, the rotation is provided on the drill. Along with the rotational motion, we provide the oscillatory motion, that is to and fro motion to the drill. How does it comes? When the drill is rotating, in order to penetrate through the workpiece, we provide the to and fro motion, that is oscillatory motion. And definitely, of course, with the help of some effort. That effort is nothing but the force and the pressure with the help of which the material is being. My dear friends, tremendous energy, tremendous force and pressure is required to remove the material. And how does it takes place? We are going to learn in next slides. The importance of machining is like the ever increasing importance of machining is gaining the new dimensions in the present industrial age. The competition towards the economical manufacture of the machine parts, the basic objective of economical and efficient manufacturing practice are quick metal removal, that is MRR, material removal rate, high class surface finish, economy in tool cost, less power consumption, economy in cost of replacement and sharpening of tools, minimum lead time of machine tools. My dear friends, let me remind you all that machine tool is nothing but a machine wherein the tool is mounted and the actual machining can be done with the help of that particular machine. That setup is called as machine tool, isn't it? The material, in what parameter the machining is economical? One, the material removal rate is high class surface finish is there, economy in the tool cost, lesser power consumption, economy in cost of replacement and sharpening of tools, minimum lead time of machine tool. Minimum lead time, that it means the idle time should be minimum. My dear friends, in your lathe machine, you have studied different and versatile types of lathe machines. Out of those lathe machines, one of the type of machine is like the semi-automatic machine, and under semi-automatic machine, you have learned the capsule and turret lathe. Why the capsule and turret lathe has been invented? Because wherein we can mount the 6 tool in hexagonal terrain. Why is there need of mounting 6 tool? As you all aware about the lathe machine, that we can perform facing, turning, drilling, tapping, taper turning, internal thread cutting and external thread cutting operation, knurling, chamfering, versatile types of operations can be performed. In order to perform those machining operations, for different types of operations, we have to mount and dismount the different tools. For example, taper turning attachment, it takes a little more time to mount. Before the taper turning attachment, I would like to tell that the mounting of single point cutting tool itself takes a lot of time, isn't it? We will have to match the live center, the tool center, and the dead center of the lathe machine, isn't it? It takes a lot of time. We will have to remove all those hurdles while performing the machining operations. It has to be economical. Until and unless it is economical, how does the people will urge to buy any product if it is expensive, isn't it? So therefore, the machining has to be a very economical one. Now, what is the machine tool? A machine tool is a machine for shaping or machining metal or other rigid materials, usually by cutting, boring, grinding, shearing, or other forms of deformation. The deformation here are the permanent deformations, isn't it? The machine tools employ some sort of tool that does the cutting or shaping. Certain classification in the bifurcation, as you can see through your screen, is like the single point cutting tool operation, multi-point cutting tool operation, and the abrasive operations. The machining processes are mainly classified into those 3 parameters. Of course, we can use single point cutting tool, multi-point cutting tool, and the abrasive operations. Now, why the single point cutting tool is being called so? Though the cutting tool have multiple cutting edges, but still we call it as single point cutting tool. My dear friends, while performing cutting operation, only single cutting edge do actually participate in machining, in metal removing. That is why it is called a single point cutting tool. Whereas in multi-point cutting tool, while performing machining operation, in the process of removing the material from the surface of workpiece, 2 or more than 2 cutting edges take participation. That is why it is called as multi-point cutting tool operation. Whereas in abrasive operation, the abrasion is the basic fundamental while removing the material. That is why it is called as abrasive processes. The abrasive processes you can mainly conclude like the most versatile abrasive operation is the grinding operation, isn't it? Now, what are the operations that we can perform with the help of single point cutting tool? Is the turning, boring, shaping and the planing operation. As we have discussed earlier, that in planing operation, the cutting tool is being used is a single point cutting tool. We provide them the oscillatory motion, isn't it? The cutting stroke, that is forward stroke, is a machining operation, whereas the returning stroke is an idle stroke. If you could remember those machining operations, isn't it? The multi-point cutting tool operations are milling, drilling, tapping, reaming, hopping, broaching, and sawing. Saw, the sawing operation you people have performed in your first year in your fitting shop and carpentry shop, isn't it? You have performed most of the operations among the prescribed one. The abrasive operations are like grinding, lapping, honing, and super finishing operations. My dear friends, the super finishing operations are further more classified as in the advanced production processes. The super finishing processes are nothing but the non-conventional machining processes. My dear friends, you people have studied in your 5th semester under the heading, under the subject as advanced production process, isn't it? There are versatile super finishing operations, the electrochemical machining, electro discharge machining operation, abrasive jet machining operation, water jet machining, isn't it? Those versatile operations are being classified under the abrasive operations, isn't it? You will observe that under the abrasive operations, the grinding, lapping, honing, and super finishing operations are being provided there. The material being removed are in very less quantity. This is the first important point. And the material which is removed is not necessarily in the form of chips, as you can see in single point cutting tool, isn't it? Even though in drilling and milling operation, the material is removed in the form of chips, isn't it? The classification of cutting tools. The cutting tools used in metal cutting can be broadly classified as single point cutting tool and multi point cutting tool. My dear friends, we all have already discussed that on what parameters the cutting tools are classified, why they are specifically pronounced as single point cutting tool or multi point cutting tool, because while performing the machining operation, if the single cutting edge is taking participation, it is called single point cutting tool, or if it is two or more than two, it is called multi point. Some examples you can see like lathe tool, shaper tool, planer, boring tool, isn't it? The boring machine, the boring tool, the other relevant and related operations are like counter boring and counter sinking. That is how you can remember the boring operation, isn't it? The enlarging the existing hole, that is called as boring operation, isn't it? Whereas in multi-point cutting tool, those having more than one cutting edge, isn't it? More than one cutting edge, that it means two or more than. What are the examples? Milling, drilling, grinding, etc. The furthermore classification of the cutting tool is like the cutting tool with the linear motion, tool with the rotary motion, and last one is the linear and rotary combination of these motions, isn't it? Linear motion, the linear motion is being given to the tools we use in lathe, boring, broaching, planer, shaper tools, isn't it? On which kind of machines the rotary motions are given? In milling and grinding machines, the rotary motion is given. Whereas linear and rotary motion, the combination of these two can be seen in drilling operation, isn't it? As you can see it. How does the cutting takes place? For providing cutting action, a relative motion between the tool and workpiece is necessary. The relative motion can be provided by either keeping the workpiece stationary and moving the tool. By keeping the tool stationary and moving the workpiece, that can happen. Whereas by moving both the relative to one another, that happens in grinding and manipulation, isn't it? My dear friends, you might have seen those figures earlier. If you could remember, under the same heading of theory of metal cutting, you might have seen one rigid, hard cutting tool is being moved past the workpiece. When it comes in contact, tremendous heat is generated due to friction. We apply more and more energy, we apply more load, force, pressure is being applied, and with the application of force, the shearing ultimately takes into the tearing of the workpiece, isn't it? That is how the machining takes place. In this figure, as you can see, this figure is showing the single point cutting tool and the rotary workpiece that we mount onto this spindle of the lathe machine, isn't it? In this figure, you can observe different other parameters. As you can see, the tool and the chip more predominantly. The workpiece you can see, isn't it? Other important parameters we are going to discuss in detail in next consecutive slides. My dear friends, the gate examination is more focused and concentrated over the numericals. The numericals are more likely asked in almost all the sections of the uh, topics being asked, isn't it? Whether it is theoretical subject, it pretend to be a theoretical one, but there has to be certain calculations, there has to be some manipulations in order to achieve those figures. That is why the numerical is the most important backbone in GATE examination. My dear friends, how does the machining takes place is being briefly explained through these diagrams. With the help of these diagrams, we can see the lathe turning, milling, drilling, shaper, broaching, and the grind. What kind of motion is given, whether it is a workpiece or the cutting tool, isn't it? You can understand the material removal operations, isn't it? The cutting parameters, the left hand view, the left hand side diagram represents the workpiece mounted in 3-jaw chuck and the spindle is shown. The rotation, you can see it is anti-clockwise, as you can observe through the direction. The chuck feed of the tool, as we have discussed very latestly, the tool in green color can be observed here. The tool will move past the workpiece. DF represent the final diameter and DO is the outermost diameter of the workpiece. Small d is the thickness of material to be removed. In the right hand side, it is the two-dimensional figure. We can see the rotation, the depth of material to be removed, and the fade, isn't it? Other important cutting parameters, the cutting speed, of course. While performing machining operation in lathe machine, we provide rotation to the spindle, that is nothing but the workpiece. Workpiece is in rotary motion. With this certain revolutions per minute, isn't it? The cutting speed is the largest of the relative velocities of the cutting tool or the workpiece. In turning, it is the speed of the workpiece, while in drilling and milling, it is the speed of the cutting tool, which has to be measured. In GATE examination, they ask certain question over the rotation and the material being removed with the other specifications like the depth of cut, outermost diameter and the finishing diameter. We are going to see very soon. The cutting speed is the distance traveled by the work surface in unit time with reference to the cutting edge of the tool. The cutting speed of cutting tool can be defined as the rate at which its cutting edge passes over the surface of workpiece in unit time. It is normally expressed in terms of surface speed, referred to as speed, and expressed in meter per minute. In turning, it is given by the surface speed of the workpiece. V, nothing but the velocity. V is equals to R omega. Omega is also explained as 2 pi n by 60. N is nothing but the revolution per minute of the spindle, of course, of the workpiece, isn't it? That we can observe with the animation of this figure, isn't it? Omega you have studied in your school days itself. Revolution. Omega is nothing but the revolution or the rotation. Rotation per minute. The other cutting parameter is like the feed. Feed is the distance advanced by the tool into or along the workpiece each time, and the tool point passes a certain position in its travel over the surface. In case of turning, feed is the distance that the tool advances in one revolution of the workpiece. Feed is usually expressed in mm per revolution. Feed in mm per minute is nothing but the feed in mm per revolution into n. Next important parameter is the depth of cut. The depth of cut is nothing but the distance through which the cutting tool is plunged into the workpiece surface. Let me go through the app and let me check it again whether am I audible to you all or not. Am I audible?
Yes,
Is there any echo in my voice?
yes, sir. सर यू हैव
मेरी
टू
आवाज
आईडीज आर योर टू आईडीज आर ओपन सर आपके दो
ओके
आईडीज ओपन है सर क्या आप एक पे सर आप सर अभी बराबर हो गया
अभी बराबर हो
शायद
गया ओके ओके
हाँ सर सर आपकी जो सेकंड आईडी थी वहाँ पे भी आपका
हाँ मेरे लैपटॉप में भी शुरू था इसके चलते हो रहा था बेटा थैंक यू the material removal rate as you can take the screenshot of this please take the screenshot it is more important as far as your gate examinations are considered the material removal rate is more predominantly explained here now the single point cutting tool my dear friends you have already studied the different faces different angles of the single point cutting tool we will just shortly revise those. Why? Because it is being asked in your GATE examination, the particular phase, the adjacent phase, the major cutting edge, where it is located, where it is mounted, the particular angle between the other faces. These are the most likely questions to be asked in your GATE examination, isn't it? So in this figure, as you can see, the three-dimensional view of single point cutting tool, wherein the rake face, auxiliary cutting edge, auxiliary flank face, shank, nose, principal flank face, the principal cutting edge can be seen, isn't it? Two parts of the cutting tool. First is the shank and the flank. Three faces of the shank. Through this, you can remember the different phases of SPCT. SPCT is nothing but the single point pattern. Three faces of the shank are wise rake face, principal flank face, auxiliary flank face. The two cutting edges are principal cutting edge and the auxiliary cutting edge. We will discuss in very short what is shank. It is the main body of the tool. It is part of tool which is gripped in the tool holder. Face, top surface of tool between shank and point of tool. Chip flow along this face. As you could remember, the back rake surface and side rake surface, back rake angle and side rake angle. These are most important faces through which the chip flows. We can provide the rake angle as positive 0 or negative rake angle. If you could remember, we are going to learn all those things in next consecutive slides. Face, it is nothing but the top surface of the tool. Flank, it is the portion of tool which faces the work. It is surface adjacent to and below the cutting edge when tool lies in a horizontal position. What is the point? The wedge-shaped portion where face and flank of the tool meet. Base, bearing the surface of tool on which it is held in a tool holder. Next, nose radius, the cutting tip which carries a sharp cutting point. Nose provided with radius to enable greater strength to the cutting tool, increase in tool life and surface life, isn't it? The surface finish, the dimensional tolerance, the close accuracy can be seen through the nose radius. It actually participates in cutting operation. Tool terminology. The other cutting edges, as per as American Standard Association is concerned, according to the American Standard Association, there are certain classification of the cutting tool provided. There are the arrangement of the cutting edges like back rake angle, side rake angle, end relief angle, side relief angle, end cutting edge angle, side cutting edge angle, and at the end, the nose radius. We are going to see those topics, their arrangement, in what fashion they are arranged. You can take the screenshot of this figure also, my dear friends. Though I will provide the slides, but for your convenience, please keep taking the screenshot. If you could remember this figure, We have drawn and we have practiced a lot this figure also, the three different views of SPCT: side view, front view and the top view, wherein you will observe the different angles along with the nose radius. It is the geometry of positive rake angle, rake single point cutting tool. Now rake angle. There are two rake angles, back rake angle and side rake angle. As we discussed earlier, we can provide the positive rake angle, we can provide the zero rake angle, we can provide the negative rake angle as well. And how does it looks like? Through this figure you can see positive rake angle. You all are aware about the positive rake angle. You people have drawn the diagram. But as far as gate examination is concerned, in gate point of view, you will have to understand diagrammatically the negative rake angle and the zero rake angle. My dear friends, as we have discussed earlier, the rake is the surface through which the chip flows, isn't it? There are certain materials for which we provide those rake angles, positive, negative or zero. The nomenclature of single point cutting tool, these nomenclature are as far as American Standard Association is concerned. On those prescriptive manner, we have arranged those angles, isn't it? The most significant terms in the geometry of a cutting tool angles are rake angle, back rake and side rake, relief or clearance angle, it is the end relief or side relief, and another angle is the cutting edge. It is also further classified as the end cutting edge or side cutting edge angle. And at the end, there is the nose radius. The rake angles you have seen. I would like to discuss over the negative rake angle. In most of the university examination, this topic is not discussed in vast in detail because it is a very lesser descriptive topic, isn't it? So, but gate examination may ask over the negative rake angle. They may ask about the characteristics and properties of the negative rake angle. So we will go through it. What is the negative rake angle? If the face of the tool is so good, is so ground that it slopes upward from the point, it is said to contain negative rake angle. It obviously reduces the keenness of the tool and increases strength of the cutting edge. Such a rake is usually employed on carbon tip tool for providing more hardness, isn't it? When they are used for machining extra hard surfaces like hardened steel and for taking intermittent cuts, very critical cuts over any other type of material, but for machining over the hard material, we will have to provide negative rake angle over the cutting tool. A tool with negative rake will have a larger lip angle, resulting in a stronger tool. Favorable for tip tools normally varies from 5 to 10 degrees. Next is the lip angle. A lip angle is nothing but the wedge angle or angle of keenness The angle between the face and the flank of the tool. My dear friends, the GATE exam may ask about the presence of any particular angle, where it is located. In option, they will provide some references, whether the angle is present between the face and the blank, major cutting edge, minor cutting edge, side flank, minor flank, isn't it? Near the base, ovary. So out of those, you will have to choose correct one, isn't it? You all are better aware about the negative mark system in the GATE exam, isn't it? So you will have to choose wisely. In GATE exam, they will tend to you all to form to create a confusion. All the appearing options will look like a same, but you will have to remember the figure you have seen, you have practiced drawing those figures, isn't it? With those practice only you will remember, you will be assured that where is the position of any particular age, any particular face, isn't it? The angle between face and the flank of the tool is known as the lip angle. It is also called as angle of keenness of the tool. Strength of the cutting edge is directly affected by this angle. Larger the lip angle, stronger will be the cutting edge and vice versa. Clearance angle remains constant in all the cases. Lip angle varies inversely as the rake angle. So I would request you to note those important points, those who are highlighted in blue color. That will help you to remember the exact position and the location of any particular face or surface or any edge. Okay. Hence, when harder metal are to be machined, a stronger tool is required. The rake angle is reduced and consequently the lip angle is increased. This simultaneously calls for reduced cutting speeds, which is a disadvantageous. Therefore, lip angle is kept as low as possible without making the cutting edge so weak that it becomes unsuitable for the cutting. My dear friends, you will have to remember, they may ask the question like why, on what parameters the cutting angle, the lip angle is kept minimum. So you have to choose wisely. The cutting tool terms: rake angle, ground on a tool to provide a smooth flow of the chip over the tool so as to move it away from the workpiece. The specification, the terminologies of the back rake angle: it is ground on the face of the tool, influences the angle at which chip leaves the nose of the tool. Generally, the back rake angle is provided with 8 to 10 degree. Side rake angle, ground on the tool face away from the cutting edge. It influences the angle at which the chip leaves the workpiece. A lathe tool has around 14 degree of angle over the side rake angle. These positioning with the help of the figure, as you can see at right hand side, the arrow indicates the positioning of the positive rake and the negative rake angle. That will help you to understand how does the negative rake angle and positive rake angle do actually participate, and how it is mounted over the tool post, and how does the chip flow over the rake surface. As we all are aware that the chip will flow over the surface of the back rake or side rake. More predominantly, it is the rake surface. As large as possible to allow the chips to escape, that we have already understood it. The amount determined is the type and grade of the cutting tool, type of material being cut, feet per revolution, angle of keenness formed by side rake and side clearance. The another diagrammatical representation of the positive and negative rake angle. How does the pressure is being exerted, isn't it? Now we will discuss the relief or clearance angle. My dear friends, its title itself indicates the positioning. You can remember when we mount the cutting tool over a tool post, when it comes in contact with the workpiece, which is a rotational one, the clearance has to be provided in order to avoid the friction between the machined surface of the workpiece and the cutting tool. My dear friends, I will repeat it again in order to remember the clearance angle, the positioning. Why the clearance is required? The clearance is required to avoid the friction between the machined surface and the cutting tool. If the proper clearance angle is not provided, then it may possibly rub the finished surface of the workpiece with cutting tool. So you can remember the positioning. In tool terminology point of view, we will discuss their positions. It is ground on the edge and side faces of a tool to prevent it from rubbing on the workpiece, as we have discussed. To enable only the cutting edge to touch the workpiece and cut freely without rubbing against the surface of the job. Side relief angle and end relief angle, these are the two other bifurcations of the clearance angle or relief angle. It is the side relief angle, it is the angle ground directly below the cutting edge on the flank of the tool. End relief angle, it is the angle ground from the nose of the tool. My dear friend, here the meaning of ground is somewhat derived from grinding. These angles are grinded from the nose of the tool. These are grinded directly below the cutting edge, isn't it? So I would request to be aware about the meaning of ground, isn't it? Ground is nothing but a kind of playground where we play. It is derived as the grinding part. Now, the cutting edge angle, as you could remember, there are side cutting edge and end cutting edge angle. Where is the positioning? On what parameters they are ground? They are ground on a tool so that it can be mounted in the correct position for various machining operations. Side cutting edge angle, it allows flank of the tool to approach the workpiece first. It spreads the material over a greater distance on the cutting edge, thereby thinning out the chip. Approximately 15 degrees of angle is provided to the side cutting edge angle. End cutting edge angle, it allows the cutting tool to machine close to the workpiece during turning operation. Usually 20 to 30 degrees provided for the end cutting edge angle. And in the end, nose radius, it is the rounded tip on the point of the tool. Approximate radius is around 0.4 to 1.6 in mm. The functioning of nose radius is it strengthens the finishing point of the tool. See, my dear friends, in our discussion also we have concentrated our discussion, our talk over the nose radius. It depends, the surface finish depends upon the nose radius. The tool strength, the tool life will depend upon the nose radius. It should be in the range of 0.4 to 1.6. My dear friends, of course, depending upon the type of material to be ground, to be machined, depending upon its hardness level. The nose radius improves the surface finish on the work. It should be twice amount of feet per revolution. I'll repeat, it should be twice amount of feet per revolution. If the nose radius is too large, the chatter will take place. The chatter is nothing but the unnecessary vibration generated during the machining operation. As you all know that the cutting tool comes in contact with the workpiece, the first foremost part that it comes in contact is nothing but the nose radius, the tip of the tool. If it is too large, it may start vibrating, then it may fail, it may break away. It should not happen like. And if the nose radius is too small, it weakens the point. That it means the strength of the single point cutting tool gets reduced. As we discussed earlier, the generalized range of nose radius is from 0.4 mm to 1.6 mm. My dear friends, the tool signature we were discussing where it is the system of designating the principal angles of the single point cutting tool. We have discussed the American Standard Association. It is very rare to ask the question on orthogonal rake system, but I have seen many times they have asked question on orthogonal rake system also. So the signature is the sequence of numbers listing the various angles in degrees and the size of the nose radius. The two systems widely used are ASA and ORS. The acronym, you are all aware about it, American Standard Association, and the orthogonal rake system, isn't it? The arrangement of angles with their symbols, as you can see in your screen. Firstly, back rake angle is mounted, side rake angle, end relief angle, side relief, end cutting edge angle and side cutting edge angle, and at the end the nose radius is kept. It is arranged at the end. The other symbolical representation of end cutting edge angle and side cutting edge angle is as phi E or phi S. As you can see in your screen, in other textbooks, in other reference books, you may find other symbols. The other possibility is the representation through phi. The generalized angle range, you can see if in examination, in GATE examination, they ask like 8 dash 14 6 6 6 dash 15 dash 1, then you will have to understand angle range, because in numericals they will ask in force calculation, in stress calculation, in the measurement of torque and other parameters, the question may appear in this fashion. So you will have to understand the arrangement, and if it is not mentioned which kind of arrangement is there, you will have to consider as the American Standard Association. Okay, my dear friends. The mechanism of chip formation we have discussed already. The shearing zone, okay, the shearing zone, this zone you people have seen, you have discussed. Okay, see, through serial number 1, 2, and 3, we can observe the three different zones: chip and the tool, tool and the finished workpiece, finished surface of the workpiece. Through those, we can observe the different surfaces, different faces. Heat generated zone, of course, along with those three zones, the heat is being generated. Chip formation, okay, I have seen appearing the question in GATE examination on topic the types of chip and how does it takes place, under what circumstances those types of particular chips are formed. I have seen several times. So you should answer it in very broad-mindedly. Of course, there are three different types of chips: the continuous, discontinuous, and the built-up edges. Under what circumstances those types of chips are produced, those types of chips are formed. We will discuss it shortly. The continuous chips are formed when machining ductile materials. If the larger rake angle is provided on the tool, if the sharp cutting edges we are using, then the continuous chips can be achieved. The other points relevant to the formation of continuous chips are high cutting speed, small fits and depth of cut, lower friction, that those parameters are also responsible for the formation of the continuous chips. Now, the discontinuous chip, if the material, the workpiece is brittle, if the lower rake angles are provided on the cutting tool, in those cases we can get the discontinuous chips. The other parameters responsible for the formation of discontinuous chips are low to medium cutting speed, large fits and depth of cut, and the absence of the cutting fluid. These are the parameters which are responsible for the formation of the discontinuous chips. The continuous chips with built-up edge, under what circumstances the built-up edges are formed are the machining ductile metals with a cutting tool of smaller rake angle at lower cutting speed. These are the favorable condition under which the continuous chips with the built-up edges are formed. The built-up edges more predominantly form over the rake surface of the cutting tool. The other factors responsible for the formation of built-up edges are higher values of feed and depth of cut, higher friction, poor lubrication, and the high cutting pressure and the temperature in shear zone. Under those circumstances, the built-up edges are formed. The effect of built-up edges, it changes the rake angle, it increases the cutting force and the power consumption. More vibration is generated over the machining operation. This surface finish get deteriorated the better surface finish cannot be achieved with the help of better pages. Though the life of the tool is increased, it may reduce the tool life, isn't it, by accelerating the tool wear at its rake surface by addition of the chip over the rake surface of the tool. This table represents the type of chip, the work material, cutting speed, feed, and the rake angle. Under those conditions, what kind of with this, I would like to conclude our today's session. In our next session, we will continue the remaining topic of the theory of metal cutting. My dear friends, up till this topic, if anyone is having any query, any questions to ask, they can ask me by unmuting the mic, or you can drop message in chat box. I will certainly wait for a while. If you are hesitating to ask, please reply me on my personal WhatsApp. Okay, thank you.